Hey, what's up everyone? It's back. Today in this video I not only have a build guide but I have a crazy 1v4 that you need to look. There was more than 4 people but I got 4 at the end. So let's get into it. Yes, they finally put the dagger in New World for some reason. I want you guys to give me your thought about it. Why do you think they added dagger right now? Do you think this is a good weapon or not? And I'm gonna show you how to craft the best build as possible to suit your gameplay with the dagger in New World Aeternum. So the dagger got 2 ultimate right there and both are pretty fine. It's just that the 20% base damage gonna only be there on root or slow target. Okay, so it's better if you have teammate that can slow the people because there's not that many root and slow that are easy to land on this build. So you're gonna see in the clip at the start, in this clip right there, I used this because I wanted to go for a pure DPS build because I think that the cloaking is good, but at the same time my goal is always 1vx, just cloaking and then killing one dude per 30 seconds is not my cup of tea, but I think that cloaking gonna be good mostly for the people who play range weapon. Imagine you use a bow, you're shooting some arrows, someone is looking at you, paf, you go cloaking. So that's great. I think it work. Uh, so yeah, but you can still try to get out of the cloaking and attack people with it and then follow them. It's just that the tracking on this weapon is not that great. So trying to do that against people who have good escape weapon like the rapier as example is just not gonna work at all. Like, so it's why I decided to go more for some ability like the frenziest slash that move while attacking. So I can just attack and move while the target is moving backward, trying to track it a bit, you know. Same with the thrusting slice, it move and attack at the same time. And then I got the ambush that put a slow and root on the target. You can see the slow is there. It put a slow after the root during 3 seconds. So if you manage to land the ambush while the dude is like running away from you or just hit someone in the back, it's a good starter. But as you can read right there, activating this ability consume all available combo point, do 5% more base damage per combo consume. So the combo point, you're gonna get them by doing some basic attack, and you're gonna see a number popping into the middle of your screen. And then, yeah, this is the number of combo. And there's a max, depending on the amount of combo you have, certain ability gonna behave differently. Or like this one, say this can be repeated if you hit an enemy and have 3 combo point available to use. But for some reason the cooldown it's a weird cooldown management. For some reason it don't work. I feel like I get silent after using it. Maybe it's bugged or something. So I think that double next stab, this ability right there is amazing. It's just that if someone move on the side while you're using it, it's not gonna land. There's no tracking into it, but there's a bit of movement. I just did not use it because for me, the ambush worked a bit better, mostly just because there's a root and slow into it, and it does a lot of instant damage. But double next stab got a lot of instant damage too, and if you can land it, it's pretty good. It's just that the cooldown is 26 seconds, and the ambush is 17 seconds, so you're gonna win a 10-second cooldown almost. It's a lot, you know. So it's one of the main reasons why I decided to take it. And then we have the crippling sling that is kinda like when you read this ability, it look kind of good, you know. It's just hard to land. It's even harder to land than a rending throw. Rending throw on the hatchet is not really hard to land, but crippling sling, and it's really small. The hitbox, it's hard to land it. Okay, it's still usable, but I don't think it's meta at all. For the Venomous Rascal build, it's kinda easy to make. The only two perk that you don't really want is this one, because the final light attack, sometimes it's gonna be hard to land. People are gonna move away. And same thing for this. Like, it's good, but there's better passive perk out there. So I'm gonna respec. As you can see, I got 6 points left, so I can easily put this like that again. So I took the two same passive there and I just changed it for the double next tab. And then you can do the same thing right there, but since you have 1 point there, you don't need this one and you can apply it almost anywhere you want, and I think that the 5% base damage could be it. Yeah, I'm sure that it's it. So for that, you got this build right there that I just showed you. It's the Venomous Rascal build, and then I'm gonna go for the extra assassin. So you can have two choice for the passive between the heavy attack apply exhaust and this one right there. When hitting enemy you haven't hit in the last 10 seconds, do 20% increased damage and apply sluggish. Like you see, both are pretty good, but I would maybe go for the exhaust since you already gonna try to land some heavy attack with the empowering thrust. Gain some empower, up to 30%. That's kind of huge. So you see, the reason why I don't take extra assassin is it's right there for 5 seconds after using an ability, gain 20% haste after facing an enemy. But for some reason it don't really proc. You can see on my bar, like the buff bar, if I use an ability, like there's a haste that pop, but it's really short. It's like a 3 second haste, so it's not that huge. It don't say how much is it, and it's not even when you look an enemy. So this haste probably don't even come from that. I feel like that haste is really weak compared to like the Great Axe haste, as example, like Bloodlust. Yeah, it's just not it. But you can still try to use that and melt a target real quick. It's just that it's not really gonna work because the dagger damage is not that high. If you compare the dagger damage to like the spear or like the rapier, it's just not it. So most of the people, you're just gonna try to like steal on them and then melt them down. It's not gonna work. There's not enough slow and CC into it. Yes, there's a route right there with a slow, but the tracking of the weapon itself is not enough to follow people who are like in light armor and using evade ability like flashy, charge, and all that stuff. So you're gonna root it, give a couple hit, and then he's gonna charge away, and bam, you can't reach it anymore. So this is one of the main reason why I use the rapier with it. Rapier, it have a nice movement. Uh, there's a couple weapons that are good with it. I think that the spear could be really nice with it. The great sword. Maybe if you try a medium armor build or AD, you can try to go in a clump with it. But I would not recommend it because there's almost no survivability in it, and there's almost no CC. Like the crippling sling is a slow, but it's really hard to land. So yeah. It's why I did not chose the extra assassin and I wanted to show more the Venomous Rascal. So if you can manage to land some heavy attack here and here and have a good crit rate, the Venomous Rascal gonna proc a lot, okay? So you have 10% crit rate right there. You got a 7% crit rate built in your daggers, so it's already 17%. And then if you reach 350 dex, you're gonna have another 10% crit chance while empowered, and then you have another 5% crit chance. So you're like at 35% crit chance, maybe a bit under that. And that's far enough to just apply the Rascal all the time because you know the dagger hit quick, so you're always gonna put your 5 stack on a target, and that's pretty nice. So the reason why I decided to put only 100 strength is because I wanted the 5% physical damage, the heavy attack damage, and light attack damage, and then the third one is not that great. There's the 5% damage on slow, stun, and root enemy. It's good, but your dagger gonna scale more of dexterity than strength. So when you respec, you can see there's a number 1595, and you see I was going way over 350 dex, so I'm gonna do the same but with 350 and put more in strength. And you see I go at 74, so I lost some damage right there. So this is why you can put more extra point in dex just to do more DPS, or in constitution if you want to survive more. But yeah, the dagger scale more of dex, so you should put as much dex as you can into it. And like I said, 10% crit chance while empower is good, and then you get a empower right there after dodging an enemy and on easy attack. So you're gonna get a bunch of empower with that. That's great. And you know, the weapon swapping is one of the great perks in this game to cleanse all crowd control status. Very nice. So right there, as you can see, with the roasted rabbit, I was reaching 100 con into the clip you saw in this video. It's kinda sketchy to play with 100 con, not gonna lie, it's hard. So if you decide to go 200 con, uh, just take off the strength. You take off the strength like this, and then you're gonna put up to get your roasted rabbit and reach 200 con, and put the rest in dexterity. And if for some reason you have more attribute point, you can maybe try to reach that 25 right there, light attack damage. This is the dagger that I found. It's a great dagger, but you can probably make one better. If I had one with triple attunement, that could be better. And attunement, it only once every 1.5 seconds, and the dagger hit really quick. So maybe there's gonna be some better combo than that, like enchanted. I did not do damage testing, but it's pretty hard to see between like enchanted, skilled enchantment, and abyssal attunement, which one is better, like if you get 3 attunement or just a lot of offensive slot. But there's one thing sure, that the skill slot and the gem slot are great. As you can see, trusting slice can now pass through enemy, that's nice, and deal 22% increased damage. So I think that the slippery maneuver is probably the best skill slot you can have on it, mostly just because it's really easy to land. And then there is some other, if you get a weapon with 2 skill slot or you want to put some on your armor, I'm gonna go over the best one and say my thought about it. So this one is great. I think it's a good one. It's not, it don't deserve to be on the weapon if you only have 1 skill slot, you know, maybe if you have 2. So the damage that it gives you, it's pretty good. And mostly the energize. This will give you back some stamina, and this is great. It's just that 26% is not that much, but still, stamina is great. So I think that this could be one of the great one to have on your armor. And then you have the Knave Assault Charm, hitting a target that has been surprised by stealth will inflict poison and weaken for 3 seconds. It's pretty good. The poison, it's like 8 to 16% per second for 3 seconds. It's fine. It's gonna be a total of 40 something weapon damage overall, so it's pretty good. It's just not that big, so you can put it on. It's just not huge enough to put it on your weapon. And then the Transient Frenzy, I think this is one of the great ability on the Dagger. If you achieve 5 successful hit with Frenzy Slash for the next 5 seconds, Dagger EV attack apply a stack of bleed for 3 seconds. There's a lot of condition into that. If you achieve 5 and then you need to land the EV, I think in PvE that's gonna be possible to land, but in PvP it's possible too, but it's gonna be really hard to land all this. So this is why I think this one, even on the armor, is maybe not it for PvP. Maybe you better to just go for like a offensive slot. And then you got pain in the neck. For the next 5 seconds, gain haste and reduce the potency of all debilitate on you by 15 to 30%. I think this one is great. I think having this one on the weapon would be not a waste because haste is great and this ability is not too hard to backstab with it. If someone run away, there's a bit of catch up into it. But it's a hard ability to land. Still, I think that this ability is great, and if you have it on your weapon, it's nice. This weapon have hard, like you're gonna have hard time to catch up to people, so I like it. Since we have a lot of critical chance, I want to just take the time to say that Vicious could be really good on that. It's pretty hard to say between Skilled Enchantment, Enchanted, and Vicious which one is the best. But with the amount of critical chance that you have in this build, Vicious is for sure not a waste. And for the rest, it mostly depends on your gameplay. I would say that Enchanted and Vicious are the best, and then Skilled Enchantment is great too. That just depends if you do the cloaking stuff. But it depends on your gameplay. And then, like I said, on the Rapier, you can put Sundering Repulse, Leeching Flurry, Omnidirectional Evade, and Fléché. Once again, it depends on your gameplay. So for the gear, I just put what I had, but I'ma tell you what could be best in slot, okay? I think that for sure Lifestealer Drought is a nice perk. You want 1 stack of Keenly Empower and 1 stack of Keenly Fortify, and then you would want 1 stack of Purify too. Those are like the 3 defensive slot that I would recommend the most. And then you're gonna add some Enchanted Ward, Freedom, and whatever you need. So to make this item better, instead of Trust Conditioning, I could have Shirking Fortification. And if I had 1 stack of Shirking Fortification on all my piece, this would be the best case scenario. And 1 gem slot too. But right now, all I had was some old gear with this Enchanted Ward. They just modify it recently, so it's not 3% anymore, it's just 1.8. And if you look at the charm, the Enchanted Ward charm is now giving 2%. So the new Enchanted Ward is now better than the old one. But yeah, I had this, so I decided to use the gear I already had. Grinding new gear when the game is over is not that great. So this is why I have some uplight piece like this. If I could have shirking fortification on all my piece, that would be the best case scenario. And then maybe a bit of conditioning, but you don't need it. The best thing could be to have 3 defensive slot or offensive with shirking fortification and a gem slot. And then you want one Ested Vigor to in your build. I think this could be almost a requirement. So like I say, one Ested Vigor, one Kidney Fortify, one Kidney Empower, and one Purify, like Purifying Toast. And then I decided to use the Tumbler Feet Wrap because those are probably some of the best artifact in game. Like I use it on many builds and it always does the work, and now the Fortify is doing more for light armor than it was doing to the other season. So you benefit a lot from it in light armor with a stack of shirking energy too. It's just really OP. So then I use this rapier right there, but right now there's probably some better rapier for this build because I did not backstab too much. I used it more like a evade and face damage. So I could have something with like Sundering Riposte instead, or any perk that help me when I'm face attacking people or just evading the people, fleshy or whatever. This rapier, I used it because I had it 800 and it's kinda decent. But yeah, there's probably better rapier for that. With the Dark Ascent, it's gonna help you to get into a clump, take a bunch of damage, and then leech with it. So this is why I think Dark Ascent is one of the best solo arch rune. That's kinda nuts, nobody was using it, and then I started to put it in my video, and now a lot of people is using it. Nice to see that you guys fucking look my video. Thanks! And it's some of the good player in the game, dude. Shit. So this is my amulet. If I had like 4 protection or 3 protection with a gem slot, that could be great, but this is what I have and I'm happy with it. The blood drinker is amazing too. You don't need it. You can do it with endless thirst. I don't have it on this account. Maybe with Ankh if you have a healer. I would not recommend Justice in light armor. So this is why I took this. It worked great. I've seen that the damage without it was pretty good, but being able to survive while being into the backline is very nice. And with 100 con, I saw my life go up. It helped to survive. And then on the earring, refreshing move, I think for a weapon that it's quick like this, it's amazing. Uh, I got Leeching Flurry just to help me survive, a gem slot, and then a Healing Heart and Refreshing Toast. Maybe instead of Healing Heart, I could have Refreshment, give 8% cooldown reduction. That could be better. Um, Empowering Toast, Fortifying Toast. There's a couple good, and Refreshing Toast just gonna help you to pop them more often. And now Refreshing Toast, it's a consumable cooldown. It don't say healing potion, so it's with all consumable like gemstone dust, oak flesh balm, cleansing potion. So yeah, just remember that. So there is some special set. I did not look too much into that. Maybe there's a set that can help you to make more damage. It's gonna rend you or something. If you try to cloak and melt down people, maybe you can go for one of those set and try to glass cannon a kill. But like I say, if someone have good escape ability or icon, you will not be able to do it. So my thought on the dagger is that it's not a overpowered weapon at all. It's not finished too, so it have weird collision. Uh, it's not a best weapon or a meta weapon in PvP at all for the moment. It's just fun because they added something new. I'm happy to see something new in New World. Before it closed, we have a reason to just come in and have fun with the homies, the good old homies from this game, man. I'm so happy. So yeah, I want to thank everyone who watched my video. I will do more. There's gonna be Where Wines Meet that's gonna release. That's gonna be awesome game. And maybe I'm gonna play a bit of Arc Raider too. But man, I'm so happy that those came out. I wish you a good day. Peace out.